she's been through a lot. Ever since she came out of jail, a lot has been publicized about her life, which I don't think was a good idea after what she went through. And then we'll look through a very disturbing case. After that, in the background of this video, to set the mood right and to help take away from some of the grimness of the topics we talk about, I will be playing solitaire. So I hope this combination of sounds and visuals help you relax or fall asleep. Please subscribe to my channel before you do. Thank you. So the article that I have for Gypsy Rose case is from themirror.com. It was posted on December 27, 2024, titled Gypsy Rose Blanchard's TikTok was hacked, but she doesn't want it back. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's social media presence was disputed when she was allegedly hacked. The felon's TikTok saw a shake-up when its bio was changed to say in Turkish, quote, "Anyone who violates rights becomes a hack freak. Rusty wrist." Gypsy told her followers she was in negotiations with the hacker who was holding the account for ransom at $400. She shared a few screenshots of the conversation, including a string of messages he sent trying to get her attention. However, Gypsy doesn't seem too urgent to get the account back, telling the hacker, "Honestly, you can keep it. I was going to just delete it in a few months anyway. If I can get it back, great. If not, whatever." The hacker seemed confused, pressing further as they wondered if Gypsy even had $400 to give. She went on to explain that her bank account wasn't as stacked as A-listers. Gypsy told them, "I'm an expecting mother who is 9 months pregnant. Everything I have is budgeted towards my child and bills. Contrary to popular belief, I am not a millionaire. I'm sorry, but I won't give you the money." Gypsy announced she was pregnant in July during a YouTube video with her partner Ken Erker, which is interesting because he is Turkish and the one that hacked her TikTok was Turkish as well. The pair held their baby shower on November 16 in Louisiana, where they revealed they plan to name their baby Aurora Raina Erker. What is truly wild about this case for me is how famous she got, or she always was famous because of her case, but I don't understand the need for her publicity after she was released. I think it all started with Kim Kardashian somehow wanting to get her out as soon as possible and interviewing her. It's like everyone was trying to use her as a sort of money-making machine because everyone Gypsy Rose people are going to watch because it's like a train wreck. They want to watch how she's gonna do after she gets out of the jail, because I honestly believe people are just that mean for it to be the only reason. I think they want to see her downfall because they don't believe that anyone could come out of such a situation, happily ever after. Imagine living the horrible childhood that she lived. Her mother putting her through so many unnecessary medical treatments, like taking out all of her teeth, making her sit on a wheelchair when she didn't need it, telling everyone she was a lot sicker than she wasn't sick at all. Just trying to garner attention for her child to feel better about herself. Imagine going through that and then murdering your mother, or planning to murder her, getting a guy to murder your mother for you, and then after you're out of prison serving 8 years out of the 10 years you were supposed to serve, the first thing you agree to is letting a whole crew with cameras and everything come and film your every day and every second after you got out of the jail. That is crazy to me. How did anyone around her thought this was a good idea, or that it would benefit this woman in any way after what she's been through is beyond me. And the fact that she says she doesn't have that much money, so if they didn't give her enough money to become rich, why would you agree to have your life just keep getting probed and probed by everyone all the time? I don't know. I think anybody else in that situation would come out of prison, change their name, and just try and live the rest of their lives privately. It kinda makes me think that Gypsy herself is an attention seeker herself. It seems that she can't get enough of it. The article continues about the baby shower. Gypsy Rose told the news, "Ken and I were so excited to have a beautiful celebration that our daughter Aurora Raina Erger can look back on and see how our community welcomed and embraced her with love. She will be supported and given all the happiness a child should experience." And they end the article by talking about that Gypsy is looking forward to the time out of the spotlight while she raises her kid. "Since I was released, I have shared with supporters my hardships and achievements through the lens of social media," she wrote on TikTok before the hack. "However, I find myself at a crossroads that leads me to desire a more private life, sharing with only family and close friends. These special moments, I greatly appreciate all the support and anyone who has ever stood by my side." That's interesting. I hope that it's true. I hope this is the last thing we ever hear of Gypsy Rose, and that when she has her daughter or son, I'm not sure, she stops being in the public at all. Like, we don't need to know all the details about her life. Now for the second case of this video, I will be reading an article from Independent titled "Chilling Moment, Killer Confessed to Storing Victim's Severed Head in His Closet." This one was published on April 2nd, 2024. Disturbing footage has captured the moment a 19-year-old from Colorado confessed to killing a missing homeless man and storing his severed head and hands inside his closet. Brian Cohee, Brian Cohee, was just 19 years old when he murdered 69-year-old Warren Barnes back in 2021. In February 2023, Brian was found guilty of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life without parole. Now it has emerged that Brian nonchalantly admitted to Barnes' murder, telling responding officers that he was curious to know what killing someone would feel like. Police responded to the home in Colorado on 1st of March 2021 after Brian's parents made the gruesome discovery of Barnes' head and hands inside the closet. Now wait a minute. Just for a split second, put yourself in this parent's shoes. Like, even if there were many red flags about their 19-year-old son, there's no way in hell that they had ever had any suspicion that they would find these things in their son's closet. Just imagine opening the closet to do some laundry, maybe put in with some clothes, and you find this. Like, I can't. No one can fathom that. And by the way, why in the world would this guy save these body parts? What did he think was gonna happen? Weren't they starting to, rot away? Did he think you can just keep them there, no one would notice? How did he even leave his room when he had those things in there? I don't know. He definitely didn't think much about anything. In body cam footage from his arrest, police questioned Brian outside his home. One officer asked him, "Your parents have concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room. What would it be?" And you can see Brian answering very calmly, saying to the officer, "A human head and hands from that fellow that went missing recently." The officer asked, "How did you end up with him?" And Brian confessed, "I murdered him." When asked with what, Brian replied, "A knife." And are those like his parents standing behind him in this picture? 'Cause that is, I just can't understand what was going through their head at that moment. He also identified the victim to the officer. When the officer asked why he had killed him, Brian simply said that he wondered what murder felt like. Man, I hate these angsty teenagers who watch one too many movies about Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer, and they think these movies were made because these people this is way different than what Hollywood makes of these freaking monsters. So the article continues. In other chilling moments in the footage, Brian's mother, Terry, T-E-R-R-I, was seen having to relive the moment that she discovered the decomposing head and hands. She said, quote, "I was in his room cleaning up, putting some things away, and he has a Rubbermaid container in his closet, and so I just kind of started digging through. I saw a plastic bag, and I was like, what in the world does he have in here? I picked it up, and it was heavy. I held it in my hands. Maggots covering something. I carried it out to the sink. It was double-packed." This was Terry's words, explaining these through tears, saying that she didn't open the second bag after the first layer, and immediately called her husband. Oh, thank God. So maybe she didn't see exactly how it looked in there, which was for the best, and I think most humans would suspect the same things. Same thing finding a bag in such conditions. I really want to know though. I wonder if they asked him about why he kept these body parts and what was his plan with them. He must have known that they would start to smell, they would start to have insects around it, and it just wouldn't be a good idea. So why he kept it and left his room so her mother could go through it? I don't know, maybe he was that sick that he didn't really care if they found out. It was done for him. He thought it was done for him. As Brian's parents called 911, they admitted to the dispatcher that their son did display a fascination with the morbid. There has also been footage discovered from the police that showed Brian telling police investigators how he carried out the deadly attack on the poor homeless man. Brian said to the police, "I was driving along and I see a shape here on the railway track. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I grabbed my knife. I put on 3 layers of gloves because plastic gloves can betray their users because they're so thin. I took the knife, I pulled back the canvas, and I stabbed his neck. He was panicking at first," Brian said, adding that he carried on repeatedly stabbing him. Why? How can someone be such a narcissist? Does he think it's like a cool story? I don't know. At the time of his murder, Barnes, the homeless man, had been sleeping rough near Crosby Avenue in Mesa County, MESA. It was later revealed that Brian attempted to get rid of the rest of Barnes' body at the Blue Heron boat ramp, where his car got stuck in the Colorado River. At his trial in 2021, so you're telling me he got his head and his hands so they wouldn't figure out who the victim stressors caused him to become insane when he saw porns. No, I don't think anyone would accept that. Two psychologists examined Brian for his insanity plea and concluded he was not insane. No way you can get away with such a thing. A third psychologist on behalf of the defense disagreed, finding that Brian Cohee, was experiencing a psychotic episode that rendered him insane. Well, what does that mean? He had a knife. He was so calm about it. After the attack, it wasn't like a momentarily going insane. He carried out the attack, repeatedly stabbing this man he had never met before, and then taking off his head and hands, taking it back to his home and keeping it in the closet. Like, you can't be momentarily insane for that many hours and making many decisions and act so normal and calm and relaxed when questioned by the police and confessing. You're not insane. I mean, you are insane, but not in trial way. You're not getting away with your insanity. You're going to live with your insanity in jail for the rest of your life. This article is concluded by saying ultimately jurors found him guilty of murder, tampering with a deceased human body, and tampering with evidence. And that is the end of this article. Alright, you guys, that is all the time that I had for tonight's video. I hope this video